Hey, this is Evan Marquette's dating coach for smart, strong, successful women and your personal trainer for love. Thank you for watching today's video where I'm going to give you the controversial idea that men want to be needed. I don't know why I even bother to say this stuff, but I think it's really, really interesting how women like you underestimate how much men in your life want to be needed and derive their value and their connection to you from being needed by you. Not just wanted by you, but needed by you as well. I want to start with a story. It's a personal story. I don't think I've ever told it anywhere before. 10 years ago, I was in an adult education course. You may have heard of it. It's called Landmark Education. I took the Landmark Forum. This might have been the advanced class or something like that. Neither here nor there. But it's a room with 100, 150 people. There's a couple group leaders at the front of the room, and it's a 3-day intense weekend workshop that's like really, really intense. You go from like 9 until midnight for 3 straight days. And you get to know other people in the room. And I remember looking around the room and I was thinking, wow, these people have far greater problems than I do. I mean, it's the gay kid whose father stopped speaking to him 15 years ago. And it's the guy who had his wife leave him who's trying to put things back together. It's the woman who has no self-esteem because she was born with some sort of congenital defect that has left her crippled, and so people with major problems, and I'm like the guy who feels just a little disconnected, right? Not that connected to my friends, my family. That was it. I just felt like a little emotional void. The leader asked me to stand up, kind of get up from your seat, and this is a room with, again, 100, 150 people. He singles me out, and he starts to grill me, like, what's your deal? You seem really self-satisfied, like you're above all this stuff, right? And I tried to answer candidly, like, no, I'm here because something's missing in my life. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to figure that out, but I'm not above it. I just don't have some of the same problems. And so many people here have really huge problems with self-esteem, and I don't have that problem. And so all this work about not thinking you're good enough, that doesn't apply to me. I think I'm good enough, unfortunately. Like, I think I'm fine, but I'm not that happy. And I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. And so he makes this observation again in front of everybody. He said, you are invulnerable. Right? You're a know-it-all. Your profession. You're a professional know-it-all. Right? So if your default setting is, I'm smarter than you, my ideas are better than yours. Right? If that's the way you come across to people, what does anybody have to contribute to your life? If you've got it all together. If you're so perfect and you present perfect, right? You stand here and you're dressed very well and you have that kind of confidence. And I said, so what am I supposed to do? Act insecure? He said, no, it's not about acting insecure. It's about letting people in and showing your vulnerabilities. Your vulnerabilities, your human side. Right? The fact that you're here means that you acknowledge that you're not perfect, but that's not the face you present to the world. To the world, you present the confident know-it-all guy. Right? That's why you're not connected to people. That's why your friends feel distant from you. It's because you're putting a face out there that doesn't feel human. A light bulb went off. Right? The value of vulnerability, authenticity, right? Letting people into your heart, showing your flaws instead of presenting as perfect. Now, I'm a dating coach for smart, strong, successful women. I coach a lot of women who are a lot like me. That's not an accident. I get you. Right? And when you do have your own career and your own money and you own your own home and you are very independent, you can stand on your own and you don't need a man, what becomes really clear? I don't need a man. Here's the problem. Men want to be needed. They do. Not just liked, not just desired, but needed. He wants to be the go-to person for you. He wants to hear about your problems and help, not just listen, but try to solve them. He wants to be the person who sets up your computer network, right? Or calms you down after you had a rough fight with your friend or your boss, right? He needs to have a role, a functional role in your life, not just window dressing. So when you talk about how busy you are and how you have this going on and this going on, you don't have time for this, you're wondering why guys don't feel connected. That's the reason, is that when you have this rich, full single life that doesn't require a man, you're not to blame for it. But men want to be needed. They want to have a role in your life. They want to be important. And the only way you can indicate that you need him is by showing that hint of vulnerability, admitting to your insecurities and your problems, not beating it to death, not being a damsel in distress. I have a friend who, I'll name her since she's wonderful. Her name's Alana Pratt. She's a dating, relationship, intimacy coach. She does all sorts of things. Extremely feminine, but also extremely vulnerable. Right? She runs a career. She's been on TV. She's done all sorts of things. She's a single mom. Right? But when I have lunch with Alana and she tells me her stories about her child, her custody battle, like some rough stuff she's gone through, all I could do sit across the table is thinking, I want to help you. Right? I want to be the man who rides on the white horse and saves you. Right? Again, she's not a damsel in distress. She's handling everything herself. Right? But by sharing a piece of her life that's not perfect, right, it makes her human, it makes her vulnerable, right, and it makes someone say, I want to be able to contribute to your life in a meaningful way. If you have everything together, there's no way anybody can contribute to you. You know everything, you do everything, you're perfect. Right? So this does not mean leading with your insecurities and dumping all your crap on the table on the first date. It's really just a way of being, the way I'm being with you right now, where I could give you great dating and relationship advice that comes from a very experienced, knowing place, have a ton of self-confidence, a really happy marriage, and still share my experience and embarrassment and insecurities with you. Right? It's called vulnerability. It makes other people feel connected to you, and it works like a charm. Men want to be needed. Let them know that you need them, and you will do very, very well with them, I promise. My name is Evan Mark Katz. I am your dating coach. Thank you for listening to me today. If you like this video, share it with your friends. Subscribe to my channel. At the end of this video, there's a big button that says subscribe. Click it. I will send you new videos all the time. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and go to www.evanmarkkatz.com, where I will give you free dating and relationship advice, teach you to understand men, find the love you deserve. Thanks for your time. I'll see you in the next video.